Anthony. So today's our last day with Mr. Delisfort. So we do want to hear who has their charts together. And maybe okay, Matthew's got his. Who else has it? Idri? Was that you drinking or you saying that got you got your chart together? You don't have your chart together?
Was that Lipton I see?
Yeah, she drinking Lipton's. Okay, she got her chart together, so we can go over hers. Donald, what about you? No. Okay. And Mason, I know Haywood can't really show his screen, so Anthony, what about you, brother? No. Okay, so let's focus on them two. Matthew and
Okay.
Idri, and we'll start with Matthew.
All right. Couple questions though. Have we been looking at these PDFs that's in the folder with the complete arranger? All right. I have to say that it's very important that you take a look at it. Um, Today, just read them. I think they're about. It's probably about 50 pages total. But all it's simply doing is talk about instruments and the range of these instruments. It's important as a writer, composer, arranger that you learn everything that you possibly can about each instrument. Um, Especially if you don't play it. I don't play timpani. I'm looking at what can I do this? Can I all right. I'm looking at about the timpani right here. Um Understanding the instrument. I don't have access to a timpani. I don't play timpani. I do know some timpani players that I could talk to and compare the notes, that information that Saminesco has on here compared to what they've experienced. Um, okay. Um, so to learn about the instrument, so when it's time for us to write for the instrument, we can come up with the idea. So whatever idea that you have in your head that you want to put on paper, you can because you have the information on there. Um, Percussion instruments, string instruments. I'm looking for. I see Greg has a bass clarinet. All right.
It only goes to low E flat, so don't write a C on there for me, please.
Hey, come on now. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So now, your ideas that you may be thinking of may require a what did you say? A low E flat, Greg? You said a low E flat is the lowest note.
It's a D flat concert, yeah.
Okay, so your idea may require you to write the pitch, the harmony C. That's the half step below that, and you write it for the bass clarinet. It doesn't work. You have to figure out okay another way that we can get this sound, because what I want you to do when you're writing is to not think of your ideas coming from here. Got my finale on. Finale is that all right, well, we'll make it happen. So the idea that you may be thinking of to come up with what's happening with this. Okay. Um, who did we say it had? Matthew. Matthew. Can you share the idea that you have?
Yeah, I managed to get a like recording through MuseScore.
Okay.
Not sure if I'm able to share my screen maybe and show that.
If you can share your screen, brother. Will you have to? Well, Will's not sharing his screen, so
No, yeah.
you have permission to share your screen, Matthew.
How do I do that?
At the bottom of the screen, you'll see it just says share screen. Click it,
It's green with
and
the arrow up.
yeah, and make sure you also click in the next window share sound.
Okay, okay, okay. make me. It's making me like go to like the settings and like to get the privacy open.
Okay, yeah, I think you have to get your computer permission to
Yeah.
do everything.
It
Just
won't.
yep. I think someone else, Donald, did one of you guys have to do this the other day? Do the permission thing?
It's saying I need to restart Zoom to do it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and drop out, restart Zoom, and then we'll continue and get you back in when you're ready.
All right.
Okay. So now while Matthew's handling that, talk about a couple different ideas. So, all right. I want to make sure that this is popping up. Yeah. Okay. Can't use both at the same time. Solid. All right. So, Finale won't let you use the thing at the same time. So now I may have an idea that requires me that I'm hearing the melody for this. All right. Can you see this chart, dear Lord? All right. All right. So now, this is an original composition written for basically to express my feelings while we were in COVID, locked inside, and then after the death of George Floyd. So, this is the idea I have: melody, harmony. All right. Sorry, Finale's just like, no. Okay. All right. So this is the first 7 bars. All right. So I'm taking this the way where I am playing the melody, where I am playing the harmony. I'm being very specific of where I want these harmonies to be. So when it's time to write it out, the location that you see me playing on the piano, boom. So I am voicing the harmonies right here. You see it on the screen?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. So because that is the sound that I'm looking for when it's time to write it out for the ensemble, I'm plugging the information in that same register. So now, because I'm playing this, I'm not going to write, because that's not the same sound. So you want to look at it where you're playing it on the piano, which we harping back to the same thing we've been saying, that we all have to make sure we spend some time on the piano, correct? So even if we're not proficient, we need to be proficient enough where we can at least play these harmonies and these ideas that we have. All right. So when it's time to write it out, we make sure that we plug in the voicings in that same location so you can get the sound that you want, the same exact sound, but now branched out for these instruments. Because if I want this sound, what is that sound to you? When you hear that harmony, what vibes do you get? And that's a personal question that I have for everybody. So if you can unmute yourself and let me know what sounds do you hear? What feelings are invoked when you hear that sound?
It almost sounds melancholy to me.
Okay. What else?
It's like
I
mournful.
think kind of a peaceful kind.
Okay. So now the message in the story is, as they lay their burdens down, I can only see my own reflections now. Meaning, as they lay there and have their last breath, as George Floyd is dying, I can see my own reflection in that. Does that make sense? So if the message is, wow, I'm watching this man on video dying, taking his last breath, I can see that be me, my brothers, my dad, my best friends, you all. So that message is a very powerful message if you think about it. So the sound that I'm going for, that I'm trying to achieve, needs to be that sound. You see what I'm saying? So me voicing it there is very specific rather than me saying, oh, my friends are dying. I'm taking my last breath. I want it to be warm, dark, and meaningful. So I put it there. So now we got that idea. Time to put it on paper or finale or yeah, I know.
We lost your sound, Will. We can't hear you. Yeah, we don't hear you at all. Right? You guys don't hear him, right? Okay. There you go. Back.
Okay. Yeah, it's the it's the whole thing we were talking about. It keeps changing the buffer rate. All right, testing. You can hear me?
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna try to play this through my speakers, and hopefully it works as well. Guess finale is just not optimized for all this. All right. Could you hear that?
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
All right, so I don't know why I got all these other parts muted. So let's hear it with the bass piano. All right. So same idea, but now the piano should be voicing it in the same location. Register the piano. All right. So that same idea, taking an idea that you have, it's a PDF file. Okay. Taking the idea that you have and trying to get it exactly from where you're playing it. Now, the one big thing we're always going to deal with is when we plug it into a computer, it's going to be a computer generated sound, right? It's going to be a computer's finale interpretation of how they want the strings to play it, how they want the piano to play it. That's going to be what it is. And that is one of the parts we were talking about when you writing a song, you sketching out an idea, you arranging it, you eventually at the end orchestrating it when you get the right sounds and then everything put together. So the sound that I'm going for, the vibe that I'm going for, okay, yeah, the sound that I'm going for, the vibe that I'm going for, are all this one from the first 7 bars that we see up here, to make sure that I get the same exact sound by the way that I'm playing it. And this is how it would sound once you get all actual humans, there you go, playing it rather than Finale, because Finale be like, yeah, this is what I think it is. All right. No, we're not gonna. Okay.
As they lay their burdens down, I can only see my own reflection now. We fight and kick to scream your name to only.
All right. Those 7 measures. When I'm writing it, when you orchestrating it, if you can imagine, if you can get your head to the space where you're hearing it from here, the recording that I played, that final product, that final production is always the goal that you're trying to go for. And the more and more you write, the more and more you come up with these ideas, the more and more you test them out. More importantly, the more and more you fail and fall on your face, the better and the closer, the better you would get to hearing that final product. But we need to be okay. Hear me when I say this. We need to be okay with writing an idea that just didn't work. Does that make sense? Because you're gonna. This is one of the ways that you find your voice, by just playing some things and I just don't like it. There's certain chords I don't like voicing them a certain way because I don't like the way it sounds. Because I spend hours just playing chords, playing notes on the piano. So when it's time to implement them on a chart, they can hear them. All right. So my piano players, Donald, do you have a particular way that you like to voice a Dorian chord?
I mean, really just depends on the context.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now that context may be whatever situation, right? And let's say it's consistently with a certain band that plays a certain way, a certain vibe all the time. You find yourself naturally going towards this voicing whenever you play this chord. All right. So now, in the recordings of all our greats, all our legends, all our masters, we hear them and they're documented playing in a certain way. Now, you take that idea and you branch it out for a whole entire ensemble, you get to hear like the sound of Donald in the sextet, in the big band, in the string quartet, or an orchestra. All right, it's Matthew's back with us, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's play with your idea. What do you got to share with us?
Okay. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to use this. Okay. Can y'all see this?
Yep.
Okay. It's got all of this, and I got a recording as well.
Ooh, come on now. Come on now. All right, that sounds like a Darren. That's a potential that's a movie right there.
See, yeah, they, yeah, bro. I like that. I like that a lot, man.
Thank you.
All
Let's
right.
see how we can develop.
So now talk us through it. Let's look at the first 4 bars that you got.
Yeah. These first 4 bars, I just kind of like wanted to like set a mood, and like I just kind of like I heard this like first melody not as like whatever it was in the original key. I kind of heard it as like an A like Phrygian kind of thing, So I
Okay.
decided to go with that and kind of like a really heavy A minor vibe right in the beginning and do it with the strings, doing the things strings do. And I just gave the melody to the horns and trumpets and everything the entire time and just had everyone else just like playing like hits and stuff on the like counter melody, I guess. And then for the second half for the second melody, I kind of heard it more in like B minor, so I probably could have just kept it in A minor, just transpose it, but I put it in B minor and just kind of went to from A minor to B minor.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I just kept the strings doing the same thing with all the hits and the winds and stuff.
So you kept the melody with the trumpet and French horns?
Yes.
Okay. So go back to the first page so we can see the beginning of it. We want to see where the does everyone see where the melody is? He kept the melody is right in the middle of the chart. Go to page 2 and 3 again for us. All right. So now once he got the melody, he had his lower strings, and I guess bassoon, um, played the I guess the root of each of these harmonies. All right, or you
Yeah.
moving it around a little bit.
I kept the cello and bass generally like grounded in whatever harmony it is, and then whatever chord I decide for like these hits, it would be like the bassoon and the bass, the root of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty much just bassoon and the low strings.
Okay, okay. Now, tell me about the strings when it was time to voice them, or a lot of these harmonies that you have for the woodwinds and the strings. Um, did you play them on the piano, or did you visualize them on the chart, on the score that you have in front of you?
I didn't really do much on the piano. I just kind of like saw it as it was and like try to use my theory classes and knowledge I learned from voice leading in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey man, I dig it. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you taking film score?
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, okay. This will work. This is a vibe. I'm letting you know now, man. You did it.
Thank you. How do I get out of this? There. Okay.
Anyone has anything else they want to share? Okay. How about we do this? There's always an idea. We're gonna do this. All right. Yeah, we'll do this. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I'm putting some things together. I don't need 20 something measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Are you seeing my finale? Says idea.
Yeah, we see it.
It's the greatest title ever, by the way.
So original.
Yeah, it's called Thoughts. All right. So now, let's go to concert key. I personally like to write everything in concert key, and then once I'm done with it, move them in their proper. Well, view it in their original key, and then go ahead and deal with the cleanup. All right. Idri, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right, I want you to sing me a melody real quick. You still there? She still there?
She might have lost connection.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's a perfect time to lose connection. All right. That was genius. That was well played. Anthony, are you available to unmute?
Yes.
All right. Anthony, I want you to sing me a melody.
Yes.
You said who? What?
Yeah, let's hear it, Ant. Sing us a melody.
Gonna sound bad.
Hey, I mean, I don't. If you
Ain't
feel like it's
nobody
gonna be
judging.
bad, I guess you haven't heard me sing.
Right. Let me sing one first. I promise I'm the worst.
The woman that married me and told me that she loves me told me I shouldn't sing. So can't be that bad, bro.
Go ahead and sing one, man. Let's so we
Oh,
get
I
the
thought you said you wanted to go first.
Oh no. This I'm the boss. Go ahead.
um. I don't know.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. You're gonna change our key too. You couldn't sing in C? Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect. I'm not sure if it's in E flat or B flat, but we're gonna go with B flat right now. Boom.
Okay, Idri's back, Will. So Idri can hook you up with the next melody if you need another one.
Okay.
Her computer died, but she got it worked out.
All right, let me just write this in.
Can you sing Beaver's melody?
Do de da de do B flat.
Would hold on, my singing voice isn't that good. Da, 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 da.
Is that right? All right. All right, so let's play around with this. And we are definitely in the key of E flat now. Thank you. All right. So, we're in the key of E flat. This is our melody. Could you hear my when I was playing the piano? Did it come through? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
we heard.
All right. What are the different harmonies that we think that can go with this? We can keep it pads. We can keep it make it a chord per 2 beats, or one chord throughout the whole entire thing, or one chord each note. However way we want to do it. What are the ideas that we want to go with? Any of them is okay, because we got to try it. So we're either going to place a chord per each note, or a harmony that we're hearing for this one entire measure, or a harmony we're hearing for both of these measures, or a harmony we're hearing per each 2 beats. Which idea we
Can it
want to
be
go
a
with?
can it be a
Thinking 2
moving
beat.
line?
One more time, Idri.
Can it be a moving line?
It can be a moving line. It can be a moving line. Mason, what did you say?
Every 2 beats, or like you could do that and then like somehow line it up with the melody.
Okay. All right. And Idri, when you say the moving line, you mean it's moving in like quarter notes, or each note is moving with?
Yeah, like yeah. quarters.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's try this. Do, da, 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 da. So looking at the first measure, what harmony do you see there? G, E flat, D, B flat, G.
1 major 7.
1 major 7. Yeah. All right. What else? What else could it possibly be?
C minor.
C minor. Good. Now we also not only thinking diatonically, we thinking chromatically. All right. So if we think chromatically, we can go anywhere we want with this. Just want you to know that your options are endless, basically.
It could even sound good with F minor.
However way you want to do it. If you want to keep it one harmony, you can still do the one harmony, right? And then do what IG was saying by having it move. So like if it stays as an E flat major 7, then bomb do, you can still outline the E flat major 7 with that harmony. So the rhythm section may be, but the horns may be.
I like that.
Or, so where our landing point is G, do dee da da G, beat 4 on measure 1, it could resolve. So maybe 1 major to 4, or 1 major inverted, which is the G, moving up to A flat, which is the 4. You see that? All right. So if we were to take those voicings, and I'm gonna do it here so I don't mess it up. It's all a finale game. All right. All right. We want our bass to do. Woo, you can always count on finale with the saxophone sounds. A little bit muddy, right? Can we see how an idea can be developed that way? And being, oh, stop, buddy. And how it can be developed. All right. So now, IG, what are you hearing?
It's kind of simple. I don't think it would. Sounds good, but I don't think it would go like hold on, sorry. And then it's just going down the scale, but in chord tones.
Okay. Chord tones is this perfect way to approach it. So we're taking this, just the first line that we have. No, not changing the instrument. Transpose. Move it up an octave. All right. So let's simplify the melody a little bit, right? Kept it to 4 harmonies. All right.
Hey, Will, can you turn your speakers up so we can hear the finale sounds a bit better?
Okay. That's something we could talk to Finale and Sibelius and everyone else about, making their software more stream friendly. It's like, woof. Are we hearing it now? So now just taking that simple idea that you all having and finding ways of writing it out. All right, so how would we be if we move this to the trombone? Too muddy? Trombone? Now, why do you all think it's too muddy?
The trombones sound kind of low.
Yeah, they're pretty low. Now, in that register, what do we know about the trombone in that register? This goes back to looking at the complete arranger PDF. Again, I highly recommend you just take a moment and just read through those. It's maybe about 50 pages with all, like, total with all of them together, the 3 PDFs. But sit there and like learn about the instrument, the ranges of it. Pick up the instrument if you can. If you get a chance to pick up a trombone, you don't play trombone, play it. See how it feels to play. Has anyone ever played a flute? You played a flute, Donald? Donald, you play a flute?
I was in band class, so like I had to play like all of them.
Yeah, most piano players have played like every instrument. So I used to pick out all the flute players in marching band, right? Because I always just thought like, man, y'all lazy, man. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all just holding a little piccolo and flute. You ain't really doing nothing. I was a saxophone player. We marching. I'm like, man, y'all ain't doing nothing. So it was like, why don't you play this instrument? I said, give me this flute. I picked up the flute, and I played, and I passed out. You know why I passed out? That instrument requires so much wind support that I just passed out. You know, I woke up surrounded by a whole bunch of girls that were laughing at me and telling me how much I sucked. And I was just kind of like, you know what? I had to take it. It was an L. I was like, I was talking like mad crap, and I passed out playing like a C major scale. But I learned a lot about the flute, that it requires a lot of air support. So now when I'm writing for a flute or the marching band or piccolo, I don't write some like outlandish thing that requires them to hold their breath for like 72 beats or something like that. You know what I mean? Where before, because I didn't know, I would have done something like that. But now I know the instrument a little bit better, personally, because I passed out. I've never really passed out in life, but playing a flute is a highly embarrassing story. But I know how to write for flute now, or at least what not to write because of that experience. Yeah. I played trombone in middle school for a little bit. Seeing how that goes, I didn't know alternate positionings, obviously, but that's another thing. I try to play the bass as much as possible. So whenever I write a bass line, I'm trying to visualize how is it on the hands, because I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for them. So no matter what your ideas are, orchestrating it, writing it out will be the biggest part of that song being successful or not. Or you can just write it a really hard tune and they'd be like, man, Mason be writing some hard songs. These are your options. Make it easy as possible or hard. All right. So now let's hear the same line with the trumpets. See what's happening here. Although it sounds cool, it's too what? What all my trumpet players tell me? What's wrong with this?
Is it too low?
It's too low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it usually differentiates by what part you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, first people get like trumpet player ones get like the high parts, and then like 2 and 3 get like the melody in the original, and then the 4 like gets below that.
Now let me challenge you a little bit on that. You see how what it did? It just refused to do it. Now that idea that you just said, Idri, why do you say that? There's no wrong answer.
Just like with all the scores that I play personally, that's just how it's been. I in middle school I used to be like 2 and 3, and that would just be like the melody. Like if we were playing Magnolia Train, it would just be like so like here, and 1 is just like higher, and then 4 is just like the lower.
Okay. All right. I challenge you to change that idea up a little bit and move the melody around to see what works with you. One of the reasons why I'm saying this, because I'm thinking of like Duke Ellington ensemble orchestra, how he specifically writes for like the musicians that's in his band. We've all heard stories of this, right? So moving that idea, the melody from the second or second or third or whatever down to the fourth or such and such, for specific sound, specific individual voice. This is more like, I'm assuming you're writing for your own ensemble, that is, not for a publication for any other like or Warner Brothers, anything like that. Your idea, your band, that is. To play around with that idea just to see how it sounds and what's the different vibes that you get from it. All right, because our biggest goal will be exploration, exploring different sounds and exploring different ideas. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that idea. It's a great idea. So now with this at the trumpets, you had certain notes that were too low. It even finale even failed to even try to make the notes go lower. You see that? It's not the same thing. All right. So now, taking these different ideas, putting harmonies to them, voicings, learning different voicings on the piano, to help you come up with different ideas. Like I may see this same line right here for measure 2. So we did a diatonic idea with the first one, right? We try to make sure that it was all in the same key. But what if we do a chromatic idea with the next one? Meaning I'm gonna play block voicings. There's a 5-note voicing for each of these notes. All right. In case you don't know what it is, like So What voicings. Have we ever played So What on the piano? I feel like that's the one tune every musician should know how to play on the piano. So what? These specific voicings. So I'm going to use that voicing on each of these notes. All right. We want that last one to be a quarter note. Correct. All right. Muddy. What? What do you think? Oh, there you go. Sorry. What are we thinking? Muddy?
Play it again.
One note didn't come out. Okay. So now, when I'm thinking back to like Thad Jones compositions, normally in a big band chart, you have what during a solo, like a sax solo. There's like a very common thing that we've all experienced in big band, correct? So now, start looking at Thad Jones charts, and he will write the same thing like a sax solo, but he'll write it for the trumpet players. And it'll be up there too in that higher register. So taking the idea that's normally done with one group of instruments and making it for another, just to see how it would sound or just the experience. And once I heard that, I was like, okay, well, really, there's nothing that's off the table as far as like ideas and ways of approaching it. All right. So we got quickly. All right. So this one measure that's that's diatonically in the same key. We're gonna get rid of this. What would be a harmony that we can say that would fit with this? One harmony that can fit with this, or 2 harmony, or 3, or 4. We just need to complete this one measure with its foundation. Can you come up with a harmony or a key or chord that will fit this, that's not in the key of C minor or E flat major? That's not in this key. Kind of looks like G minor, kind of looks like E flat, right? Kind of looks like C minor, but it's not. I want one harmony that this can fit on that's not in the key of C minor or E flat major. If anybody can figure it out, Darren will give you a free drum lesson. I don't really know.
Is it like, yeah, and you could do like A flat, like sharp 11 over that, or like under it.
Yeah, I was thinking that in the beginning.
Okay. All right. Give me another one. I want you to go as out as possible. A flat's kind of still in there. We forced A flat to fit. It did work, but
I'm not sure if this works, but you could do like a really altered like D7.
altered E7,
D7. D
D7.
as in dog.
Yeah. Sorry, it's like whatever the last note it plays is the patch that is thinking that you're trying to play. Let me just do this. Yeah. And what harmony would that be? Can you all hear it? Well, okay. Well, Phrygian. All right. And one more. D was pretty good. I like that one. But it
E
was,
flat 7 would also work. D flat 7.
E flat 7. Yeah. What?
E flat.
I have a D natural. Oh, B flat.
No,
B
I
flat 7.
D as in dog flat.
Dog
Oh,
flat. Ah, okay. All right. Could everyone hear the D flat and the D being a possible root? Did it rub anybody the wrong way? Was it like, oh no, man, oh anybody? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, all right, good. All right, so let's get out of here. All right, so now the reason why I asked you that is want to know if it's basically just like stretching your ears, like ear gymnastics. I don't know if that's a thing. If it was, I probably would lose because I can't move my ears. But a simple idea of just stretching your hearing and what would sound impossible now sounds like, oh, that's not a bad idea. Stretching those ideas. So coming up with when you write the melody, you're arranging a tune. I have a cool melody, but now I need to arrange it. Do I want to add tension and release to it? Do I want to do this and that and that? Finding different ways of playing these harmonies and being okay with it. You know, like, okay, well, the D flat kind of works. It's a vibe, but I don't really know if it's going to fit on this one. Or like it really works. Yeah. Please spend time on the piano. Does everyone have access to a piano? Yeah. Okay. Put time into it, whether it's just like 30 minutes a day. I know it's a lot. I know 30 minutes is a lot. It's like half your day is gone, 30 minutes. But no, 30 minutes a day. Donald has to put 30 minutes a day at least. So you ain't got no other option. Sit down, play these harmonies. Just go through them. Play me a C major. Find me 5 different ways of playing C major. Or 3 different ways of playing C major. Right? Switching them up. Just really exploring the sounds. And then find me the prettiest way of playing C major. Then find me the ugliest way of playing C major. Then find me the most unique way of playing C major. All of that will help you build your sound. Will also just help your piano proficiency as well. Make sense? And please, please, please check out the PDFs that we put in there. Learn about these instruments. When it's time to orchestrate, the idea that Matthew wrote out was dope. That was dopeness, right? Using all the different ideas, coming up with, okay, this is my melody. Now let me find a way of arranging this and then orchestrating it, which is exactly what he did. Yeah. All right. Any questions? All right. You all still have my email, right? Did I write that last time? Should I do it again now? I'll just do it again now.
Can I get it? Yeah.
Will, thank you so much, y'all. This is it for y'all. Will's gonna be here next week, but he's got a different group of cats with him. I mean, you're welcome to, check that class out. I'm not sure exactly if it'll probably be pretty close to what happened here, except you only have 2 days instead of 3, so those guys don't have as much time with him. But
Yeah.
thank you
Crunch
so much,
time.
Will. Huh?
Crunch time. Yeah.
Crunch time. Yeah.
If you guys have any question at all, if you ever write something that you just want an extra air on opinion, please hit me up. Let me know. All I'm doing is sitting here writing music and playing music. So
Yeah. Stay in contact with Will. Make a relationship, a friendship, and one day you might be on his bandstand. Trust me, it's one
come
of
on,
the
man.
bandstands to be on.
Hey, that's facts though. I was talking to Patrick Bartley about that actually recently.
Yeah.
Which was just kind of like, oh, so yeah.
So any last minute questions about anything for Will? He knows a lot about a lot of stuff.
I'm a Scorpio. Favorite color is blue.
Idra, you look like you had a question.
Football, basketball.
Not necessarily for Mr. Well, but for you, Miss IG.
Okay, go ahead.
When y'all sent the schedule, y'all sent me like the exact same thing twice, and I know my next week schedule is different.
Oh, you don't have a week 2 schedule?
Nah, it's just week 1.
Okay, we will rectify that. Greg will send you a week 2 schedule right now. Next week is gonna be cool. It's more music stuff. I know this week was like a lot of stuff combined, but next week is a listening class with Amina. Wait, let me grab my schedule and I can tell you because I know you guys are dying to know.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, when you're writing a piece, do you have any sort of, do you have your own way of doing it, or like an idea or tips for like, you have this melodic or harmonic or just compositional idea, and then you want to, but you don't know what kind of ensemble to write for. Do you have any tips for like how you decide which is probably the best medium for that specific composition?
When I first started writing, I would always write them for like 3 different ensembles, which was very time consuming. Now, the first ensemble I write for is my project, my sextet. And from there, I would, if needs to be, I would do, an orchestral version of it or a big band version of it. Lately, a lot of them has been like big band and the smaller group. Smaller group for myself, big band for other like university works and stuff like that. But my default right now is my sextet, simply for the reason that we're working, and because of that, I want to have more material for us. And then if anything else pop from that, then I'll go ahead and branch out with that ensemble.
How long does it usually take you to write a full composition from the beginning to the end?
The longest was about was about 2001 to 2009. No, 2010. I finished a suite called Tension and Release. But prior to that, I mean, it can go for that many years to like a day, really, if I have the whole idea in front of me. I don't have as much free time as I used to. I'm a family man now, so if I only have an hour to write it, then I'm gonna try to like quickly sketch it out. Then once I sketch it out, the composition is completed. From there, I'm just worried about trying to arrange it and orchestrate it, which that may take some time, but depends on how much free time I have. So unless you got kids and you're married, you should have time to do it.
Absolutely. I was gonna tell everybody here too. That Will has a record that's coming out that, in my opinion, I've heard some snippets of it, and it's gonna be one of the best records all year, or really in this decade. And so you guys should really pay attention to his Instagram. Everybody's on Instagram, right? Yeah, so go find Will on Instagram, and then also find us on Instagram, Second Line Arts Collective. Find us, like us, friend us, and because Will works with us in a lot of different capacities for education. So it might be some other opportunities for y'all to get with him in some other ways.
Hold up. Anthony said not really. Is it Instagram for old people now? Don't tell me Instagram for old people.
I think they're on TikTok now, right?
I don't know if I could.
I'm on both.
Are you on both? Okay.
My
I'm
students laugh
just
at me
not
because
on
I'm on
social
Facebook.
media that much.
Okay.
I had a rude awakening like 2 years ago. I told all my high school students, I was like, if you need anything, message me on Facebook. And they were like, oh, we don't have Facebook. Facebook's for old people.
Old people, yeah, I know. Yeah, I threatened to fail all my students. I said, "What? I will give you an F for Facebook." Yes.
So
Facebook is dangerous.
Facebook is. Anthony said MySpace. Message me on MySpace. That's funny, Anthony. That's where me, Greg, and Will we used to love MySpace back in the day, man.
Anthony's shooting shots right now. I'm like, hold
I
on,
know,
man.
Don't mess with Anthony, man. Anthony, you don't mess with that cat.
So, hey, anybody got any questions for me or Greg about next week or this week, or any comments? Or
I just want to say also too, like if you guys follow the Instagram page, just keep what we're doing. We also have a podcast every Monday night, and we got the also the Spotify page with all those things. So we have this cat named John Michael Rochelle coming in, who's like a huge, pretty big producer, producing everyone out of New Orleans right now, like Jameson Ross, like Tank and the Bangers and things like that. So we have a couple things happening, and if you guys are ever interested in just peeping out what's up, that's the best way to follow us. In addition to the camp that we're doing.
Yep. Cool. If y'all don't got nothing for us, we'll see y'all on Monday morning.
Thank you, Willerm, so much for joining us.
Yeah, Will. Thanks, Will.
I got a gig.